Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Eugene Kim. Today, I'll be talking about a lot of people has been asking me about the typical process about Eugene Kim photography in general, pre-wedding processes, post-wedding processes, and so on. So we thought we'd dive in a little bit quickly to learn more about it, so that if you feel stuck in any situation, but don't really want to ask me any questions, don't feel that. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. But if you do just want to search somewhere, this will be a perfect place to come back to. Today, Lyssa and Leezy is going to help me out with this podcast. They'll be asking some questions, hopefully some of the questions that you guys have. So yeah, we'll start from there.
All right, awesome. I would love to hear a little bit more about what your pre-wedding process looks like for the client, because I feel like the first thing everyone always asks me is, what is the next step?
Okay. When do a lot of couples ask you that? Like, is it like after they do the inquiry, or like even before the inquiry?
Um, I'd say like most people are finding me on Instagram, and then some of them are DMing me and then asking
Hmm.
me how to start the process. And then I
Yeah.
send them to my website, because the first thing is I always have them inquire to kind of start that process. And from there, I kind of um, have like an automation that I go through with them.
Do you feel like you get more on Instagram or more on, like, you use Honeybook, right?
I do. I use
Yeah.
HoneyBook, but I have like a questionnaire like on my input form, and I always ask where they found me, and it's almost
Mm.
always Instagram,
Nice,
which
nice.
is which is kind of bizarre.
I would say about 50% of my clients are Instagram too.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of couples first when couples inquire with me for my service for their weddings, oftentimes they send me a I it's a very easy format. If they were to send me a contact form through my website versus if they were to send me a DM, a lot of the information are pretty much the same. So from there, I will send them a link or a questionnaire about the next step. And the next step usually consists of my starting price for that region that they're getting married. If they haven't filled out, or if they didn't let me know where they're getting married, I would ask that question. And then from there, that link usually includes the link for the consultation call. At this point, couples just know what my starting price is, a lot of the frequently asked questions answered, and then consultation calls with me. From there, they haven't really made any decision until, and I encourage a lot of couples to get on a consultation call with me. So, even if they love my photography, if they don't like me for some reason, then, we shouldn't really go forward with it. Yeah, yeah, that's my very initial step. And then from there, we get on a consultation call. We chat about the couple, about the wedding, about my services, about a lot of we pretty much will go through these processes as well. And then finally, I'll tell them a lot about the services that I offer. And then what I do differently to probably many photographers is that I don't actually tell them the final pricing during the consultation call. I usually do it within about 24 hours after the consultation call. I send them customized proposal. That way, I feel like I know exactly what the couples want and exactly the type of services couples want, so that I can probably provide three things that couples really like. And then usually couples just choose one from there, and then they book me for the after signing the contract and then paying the 50% retainer.
Yeah, I feel like my workflow is very similar with the when they get the inquiry, I send like the questionnaire stuff. after, because like you're just kind of looking at like, are we going to vibe together for the
Mhm.
consult?
Yeah.
And it's so fun because sometimes you connect on little things, and I feel like I take notes during like my consults because I think it's so great that you build something custom to really reflect them, because I feel like the clients that reach out, most haven't been married before, and they're like, we don't really know what we want or what we need.
Mm.
And, you know, a lot of them are looking at something on my website that they see that wouldn't necessarily work for them. So I feel like it's so helpful to kind of like guide them and serve them and build something custom to reflect what they want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's been working really well after I made that change. Yeah, I don't have to offer a lot of the couples that, oftentimes I think a lot of the, before I made the change, there are a lot of things in the package that was really, even I felt this is not really necessary for you guys, but it's already in the package. So do you want it? No, I don't want to really go through that. So that's why I started building the customized proposal. Yeah, and I think the couple's been liking it quite a lot since. So yeah, and then after that, usually about 2 months out from the wedding, if we haven't already done the engagement session, we would do the engagement session if they wanted to. I would say about 80% of my couples do the engagement sessions, even if they are from somewhere else. We'll probably try to travel and then do the engagement session together. And then around 2 months, we would also do another consultation call, usually asking about their family member's name who's attending, as well as just family dynamics. If I want to hear anything about the family history, anything, if they've been remarriage and who's with whom, all that sort of stuff. I'd like to know. And then that way, I feel like couples at that point, I think couples know about me and I know about the couples a lot more. So we connect on a more different, a little bit deeper level, I feel like. And then we can definitely share a lot more about the wedding itself, and how I'm going to photograph the weddings too. So I think that's been really helpful. Yeah. And then after that, probably about 2 weeks before the wedding, I reach out again, asking about how the wedding's planning is going, how they're feeling. Are there any meltdowns or anything? But yeah, just to check in. I usually send a checklist. A lot of the couples know that they need to have, but at the same time, they are very easily forgetful.
Yes.
Things like wedding gown hanger, for example. No one's going to forget the wedding dress. I hope not. But yeah, definitely for the hanger and things like that, small things. A lot of couples, they're busy. There's a lot going on in their head, and they get to forget about a lot of different things. So I sent them a checklist about 2 weeks before. And if they completely forgot about it, then they still have time to order something on Amazon or something like that. So I feel like 2 weeks before was usually a good amount of time.
Yeah, awesome.
So you said you don't reveal the price up front, but isn't the shooting fee what people are most curious about?
Yes and no. I feel like if I'm gearing towards the pricing, then I feel like a lot of couples are more curious about the pricing. But if I think I value in a lot different things more than the pricing. So I feel like a lot of couples are inquiring me about my thoughts on different things. Yes, pricing is important. If the pricing is completely out of their range, obviously they cannot book me. So yes, they would like to know the pricing. But yeah, that's why I usually include the pricing on the very first email that I send out before the consultation call. So that if the starting price is around where they were thinking and what they had in mind, I feel like they're usually okay. Yeah. So what did we do? 2 weeks, 2 days. Yeah, last check-in is about 2 days. And then from 2 days in, it's like constant texting each other, just seeing how everything is going. And just like if I'm doing a destination wedding, which I often do. I'm just letting them know like how I'm traveling, where I'm traveling to, what time I'll be traveling into, so that just so what to expect of me, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the pre-wedding processes.
And then for post wedding, what does that look like with your workflow?
Oh, it's quite simple. 24-hour sneak peeks, 50 days final production, and then about a month after the final production, wedding albums and any other things that we are going to do, like a wedding, what you call the wall arts, any kind of prints, yeah, wedding albums, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, usually we're done within about 3 months from the wedding.
With everything? So, like, when you're saying final edits within 50 days, are you doing the full wedding gallery?
Yes.
That's so fast.
Is it?
Is that industry standard for your area, or is that just like your process?
No, I feel like that's just the process. I feel like usually, um, I feel like that's just the right amount of time for the couples. And what I mean by that is that I feel like anything within a month, like within like 4 5 weeks, I feel like it's a little bit too soon. Like it's maybe they just got back from honeymoon and then maybe just they're settling into, getting used to the, I don't know, probably like marriage life. I feel like a lot of couples these days have already been living together before the wedding, so it doesn't really apply as much. But I feel like pre-COVID weddings, a lot of couples, 50 days, I feel like it was just the perfect amount of time that when everything was settling down, then they get the photos and they get to remember what their wedding day was like. And, they really feel like now that they're married kind of thing. But I feel like anything beyond that is like often because I've had times when I tried to deliver a little bit further out. I think it was more like 10 weeks instead of 7 weeks. And I was getting some emails asking, where their photos, when their photos getting done or, things like that.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that is, I feel like, it's well, one, a lot of couples know because they read the contract and they read the processes. They know when they're getting the photos. But I feel like if they're feeling it's been a while that they've seen the photos and things like that, I think that's just a little bit too long. So that's why I reduced it to 7 weeks. I could probably do it quicker, but yeah, I think 7 weeks is the right amount of time. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to rush. You want to like have them
Exactly.
really enjoy it. You want to be able
Yeah.
to like, put all the love into it. Here, industry standards is about 6 to 8, but up to 12 is some photographers. I'm
I've
just
definitely seen
surprised with how much travel you do that your turnaround is so fast.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, like, because I think I can do it a little bit quicker, but oftentimes a lot of couples do the video as well. And if I were to do photo and video, 50 days is pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Amazing.
Well, the help of the AI helps.
Yeah, and really having your like workflow from like start to finish, I feel like is so seamless, and it creates like the sense of calm when as wedding photographers, people are always like, isn't that so stressful? And you're like, I mean, for other people maybe, but like I love it.
Yeah, isn't that what makes it fun?
Yes.
Yes. The challenge as well. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think we can probably.
I think so. I feel like we went through the full workflow. Yeah.
I think it's one of those. I think the processes are usually things that are very important, but there aren't really much in it. But at the same time, because everyone, like you said, you and I are very similar in terms of a lot of things that we do. But even you and I have different workflow, and I think that's probably what makes a lot of the couples and potential clients to really not confused, but they want to be assured about like if this photographer really have the system down, kind of thing. So very simple process, but yeah. Hopefully now and if you still have anything that we haven't asked questions in this podcast, or I haven't been able to answer that questions, definitely reach out, and then I'm happy to explain further. So yeah. I think we can just wrap it up there.